So in the previous slide, I have discussed about the capacitance. How capacitance is storing the energy in electric field and how much its energy was there. The capacitance has energy that is equal to E equal to half CV square, and it's analogy to a spring system. So in capacitor, you see here this capacitance store energy, and when needed it releases energy. In same way, if you see, this is your spring system and here a block is attached, and if you compress this block, the amount of energy is stored in the spring, and if you leave this block, it will come in the natural position. So this energy is exchanged between the block and the spring. Potential energy is exchanged here. Same way, here energy is stored by placing charge on this capacitor, and that charge is here positive Q or here negative Q, and this Q is C multiplied by V. So here this charge Q is in mechanical system, the spring system, energy is how much you have studied in your physics in class 11. It is half kx square. Same way, here its energy in capacitor is half CV square. So here if you see this and Q equal to also C multiplied by V. So from here you can write V equal to Q by C, and you put in this equation E equal to 1 by 2 C multiplied by V is Q square by C square. So this C, one C cancel out. So here X is position and Q is charge. So in mechanical system, here charge is analogy to position. This is electrical and this is mechanical. So electrical system, charge is analogy to mechanical position. Now one more element we have to study, that is inductor, and after that we will go to very fundamental law which you have already studied, that is Kirchhoff current law and Kirchhoff voltage law. After that we will solve 3-4 problems based on the capacitor, inductor and resistance. So inductance is, it is symbolically represented like this, and here a current is flowing here I, and inductance it is denoted by L. Suppose it is positive here, negative is here. These two ends A and B, these are called terminals, and this L is called inductance. And here this positive and negative, this terminal, this voltage is represented by V, and this is the current. So inductor property is that it stores energy in magnetic field. Stores energy in magnetic field, and the voltage here, this voltage V is, it is L di by dt. Means if change is current is there, so this change is current produces a voltage in the inductor. If change of current is not there, the voltage in the inductor will be 0. Suppose if I equal to constant, current is constant, so what will be the value of di by dt? It will be 0. So voltage in the inductor will be L multiplied by 0, so it becomes 0. So no current will flow, means current becomes 0. So this inductor tendency is to oppose the change in current. Its property is to oppose the change in current. So this property in mechanical system is also there, that is called inertia. Inertia is also a mechanical property of a system that change the opposing position, that does not allow to change its position, that is called inertia. So change in velocity of flow of charge, opposes the change in current, or change in velocity of flow of charge. So inductance is analogy to mass or inertia. L is analogy to M is mass of mechanical system or inertia. These are the two properties of a mechanical system that also opposes the change in velocity, that is mechanical system. So now again here we have to find out what is the energy associated with the inductor. So this voltage in the inductor is written by L di by dt. Now what will happen to calculate power? Power is nothing but it is voltage multiplied by current. So you just put this voltage value here. Voltage is L di by dt, and here multiplied by I. So if you bring dt here, power, this equation becomes power multiplied by dt equal to L multiplied by I di. And this P, power multiplied by time, is called energy. So this is a small dE, and it is equal to L I di. This is not dt, it is di. It is I, not d. So if you integrate it, you will get whole energy. So energy equal to, so it will becomes 1 by 2 L I square. So this is the energy associated with the inductor. So its energy is depending on the current. It does not depend on the how current is reached this value. It does depend on the magnitude of the current. So this much energy is stored in the inductor. So this energy is, as when required, it will be released, and it will not dissipate as in the case of resistance. So we have studied three elements: resistance, that is R, resistance, it is R, capacitance C, and inductance L. These two elements are energy storing device, and this resistance R is energy dissipating device. This resistance is energy dissipating device, dissipating element. Means if you give energy, it will dissipate, it will not store. So inductor is a device, or capacitor is a device which stores energy, and as when needed it will release. Means store energy is capacitor, and inductor stores energy. stores energy, and capacitor energy is half CV square and inductor energy is half Li square. This inductor is also called, self-inductance. Self-inductance or inductance. I is the current flowing through the inductor. But resistance is energy dissipating element. This much amount of energy is being stored in the inductor or capacitor, and as when needed it will release this amount of energy. So if current becomes here 0 in the case of energy for inductor half Li square, so if I is reduced, energy will reduce very fast. If I becomes 0, energy also becomes 0. So these three elements we have studied, and now we will study about how to utilize this relation for, suppose in case of the capacitor, just I give you a brief recall here. So in capacitor I equal to C dV by dt. This relation you have to keep in mind to solve the problem. And for inductor, L is there, so voltage in inductor is L di by dt. I have also to keep this in for your reference, and I current is flowing here. So this is the another relation that is needed to solve the problem. And for resistance, it is here I current is flowing, so here voltage equal to I multiplied by R, which is nothing but this is Ohm's law. So whatever we will study in subsequent coming lecture, this relation V equal to I into R, I will solve most of the problem by the application of the Ohm's law. Either we use Kirchhoff current law or Kirchhoff voltage law. We have to apply this V equal to IR. This V equal to IR has very wide application. Suppose what is this? This V is, it is potential difference. Potential difference. It is written in short form PT, potential difference. So suppose if this is a resistance, and here suppose if it is 10 volt potential plus, and here it is 5 volt negative potential, and its resistance is suppose 5 ohm, and current is asked to find from here to here, A to B. Let us see, current to find from A to B. So you have to find, we have to check what is the potential difference at A and B. So I is equal to potential at A minus potential at B divided by resistance. So what is potential at A? Potential at A is 10 volt positive. So you have to write 10 volt positive minus what is potential at B? It is minus 5. So you have to write minus 5 and divided by 5. So it becomes 3 ampere. So keep in mind, it is the potential difference between the two terminals. Suppose if I write the question in like this, I write here 0 volt and I write here 5 volt minus, and this value is, suppose if it is also again 5 ohms, and it is asked what is the value of current. So this 0 volt is higher than minus 5 volt. So direction of current will be from higher potential to lower potential. So I is like this. So I equal to change in potential, means here potential, higher potential is 0 minus of 5 divided by 5. So it is 1 ampere. So means ki positive, this is negative potential, it is smaller than 0 voltage. So here current will be this voltage minus this voltage, potential difference divided by resistance. This is very important relation because everywhere I need to use it. Either we use Kirchhoff current law or Kirchhoff voltage law in coming lecture. So this relation is very useful.